Today's segment is what I'd probably title Breakdowns to Breakthroughs. We've all heard in life, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, and for all of us, we've all gone through our challenges in life. God, the universe, life itself just throws things sometimes at us that we're just like, oh my God, I don't know if I can handle this. I'm at my point of where I'm just going to lose it. The stress, the anxiety, the things that we go through as far as challenges. But I also look at these challenges as slingshots. What pulls us down could potentially be what shoots us up as far as in our success and the things that we've learned. I've also have heard that there's a Tibetan prayer, and I don't quite understand why they would go this far in a Tibetan prayer, but to pray for God in the universe to throw things at us that challenge us to make us stronger. And I once heard a life coach of mine say to me, Rob, the people in our lives, the people that have done us harm, where we've either been maybe even a victim, like I was once a victim of legal fraud, people, places, things have come into our life for a reason. They have at times been the flame that forge our blade. They're the people who have created us, helped us create who we are today. And in an odd way, I thank and I give blessings and gratitude to all those that have done me harm, or those events that have challenged me and took me to my breaking point. And that's one of the things that I'll share with you here is like an experience that I had and the lesson that I learned to get through it. This goes back to the Great Recession, and I got caught in a financial pickle. I mean, it was just mind-boggling how life, God, the universe was just throwing tons of stuff at me at one time. So just to give you guys kind of an idea of like the stuff that was going on at that time, which was, I look back on it now and, oh my God, I don't know what or why. I actually do know, because it helped me become the person that I am today and to share these lessons. So no matter what you're going through, and at the time for me, again, I was caught in this kind of like perfect financial storm back in the Great Recession, where the house that I'm at right now, here in Malibu, I had bought another home. The guy that was buying this house pulled out of escrow. Make a long story short, I was carrying two homes, and a lot of other expenses and a lot of other things that were challenged at the time. And I, like many others back in that Great Recession, we should all, by the way, have shirts that say I survived the Great Recession, because it was a time, and many can relate, that the financial world was scary, and I was caught in it. Rather than all the details, because it don't really matter, but at the end of the day, I was looking at my expenses with no money coming in at the time because the real estate market shut down. It was a combination of income properties. I was in a class action lawsuit in Fiji, with some developers. I mean, it was just like everything was hitting me at once. Between my regular expenses and legal expenses, I had $70,000 a month of expenses going out with no money coming in a real estate market that just slammed shut. And I was freaking out, going, oh my God, this is like, how did I put myself in this position? I'm going to lose everything. It just so happened, it was right after I wrote this book and published this book, 180 Degrees. And the moral of the book, it's an autobiography, is creating financial success and happiness in your life. And here I'm thinking, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I just published this book on being successful, and I'm financially crashing and losing it all. Like the concern, I have to admit, of it being embarrassed was definitely part of my daily anxiety, like, oh my God, this is so stupid. Anyhow, I hired a life coach, and I highly recommend life coaches. I highly recommend therapy, coaches, sponsorships, fellowship, others, accountability partners, you name it, anybody, supporting team that can help us become better people. And I hired this life coach, Matthew Ferry. It's, by the way, really, really good. And I remember telling Matthew all of my problems that were going on at the time. And this is my first phone call with him. And his response was, part of the language, that is f***ing amazing. Oh my God, this is amazing. This is so exciting. And I'm on the phone like angry and like, what the hell? God, what are you talking about? I'm friggin' losing everything. He's like, oh my God, Rob, when there's a breakdown, there is a breakthrough coming. I am so friggin' excited for you. I wonder what it's gonna be. I wonder what's coming. And I'm on the phone with him still, just like, I can't believe this jerk is not listening to me and like giving, holding my hand and giving me compassion. He's, no joke, laughing on the phone, saying this is so exciting. And for those of you that might be either right now going through a financial or any other challenge, don't we get kind of annoyed when those people say to us, oh, don't worry, it's all going to work out? You just kind of want to like strangle them. Like, you don't understand. I'm in the tunnel and I don't even see light at the end of the tunnel. I could relate. I had this moment going on with Matthew. And you know what? And he guided me through it. And here's what the lesson that he taught me and the exercise that he gave me that I'm giving to you is he said, Rob, I want you to write down your worst case scenario. I want you to write it down in detail. What would, if you've lost everything, what would that look like? Where would you be in life? And I want you to take the time to actually write it down, document it, tell the story. I didn't understand the assignment. I was like kind of annoyed with it. But like many times I have taken on that coaching from others to kind of see and experiment to see what happens. So I did. I took his advice. And I wrote down worst case scenario of everything that would happen to me. And the following is said, not putting any Starbucks barista down because it's an honorable position for sure. But for me, my worst case scenario was, I lose all my money. I lose my home. I lose, I guess, that recognition in the real estate community as a successful real estate agent. Okay, I'm going to be embarrassed. I just wrote this autobiography on financial success. All right, that's going to be kind of embarrassing. But I have a choice here. I'm not going to lose my sobriety, that's for sure. I'm not going to lose those that love me. I'm not going to lose my health. I'm not going to lose my spiritual contact to a loving God that I understand. There's so much I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to lose friendships. You know what? And I bet my friends are going to rally behind me. I bet I'll have a couch to sleep on. I bet I can make sure that my family's taken care of in some way. Maybe not the luxury lifestyle that I had become accustomed to and that I was proud of. But even if all that stuff was stripped away, I came to total peace that I was going to be okay, that everything would be all right. And I wrote this down, and then I also wrote a letter to God. And you don't need to believe in God, doesn't really matter. Write a letter maybe to your dad, a mom, someone that you love, someone that's either on the planet alive with us or has passed on. And for me, it was writing a letter to God and saying, God, take it all. I don't want you to, but if you think this is best for me, as far as in my life journey, I'm totally prepared for you to take it all. And I wrote this letter and I took a run up along Point Doom here in Malibu, at the point overlooking the ocean, and I started sobbing. And it wasn't a sobbing of loss, like it was a sobbing of peace. I was at total peace. I'm actually almost about to get choked up right now thinking about it again. I was at total peace. I might lose everything and that's going to be okay. And for whatever reason, this is in my journey, this is something I have to accept. And I'm just going to do the next best thing in front of me to get through this. And I'm going to take baby steps. And I remember literally putting my hands out, shutting my eyes. I was crying and I said, God, I am yours. Take everything and anything from me. It doesn't matter. Let me just have my spiritual connection with you, my loved ones, and my health, and I'll make it through this. And I walked back home, obviously in deep reflection, and I was at such peace with everything. And that is a beautiful place to be. And that is really probably perhaps the most important part of this message, is that we can have chaos going on around us and things falling apart, but we can be at peace. And from that place, one of the things I had been doing prior to this event was I was selling one of these homes that I had, and I was going to take at least a million, actually between the two of them, a little over $2 million of a loss. And that was gonna like be financially devastating to me. And Matthew Ferry, the coach at the time, said, Rob, you don't want to be selling anything from this spiritual state of lack. You don't want to be selling anything from like in stress mode. And he was encouraging me to take these properties off the market. And I was like, no, I got to sell it all. And I took everything off the market at that moment. And I went into that peace mode after that moment that I had at Point Doom and just letting everything go. And here's the crazy thing that happened. Besides being at peace, a few months later, all the dots started coming together again financially. Everything started coming back. And, you know, once again, stealing a line from Tony Robbins, whom is a huge mentor of mine, not to impress you, but to impress upon you, that like one of those next months following that moment of having that exercise that I did with God, I had my best real estate month ever. I made $500,000 in a month, technically actually $480,000 in 1 month of earnings. And all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I think this all came from just being at total peace with whatever was happening. Now, I haven't had months like that every month after, but it was just like this huge breakthrough because that money that came in, I looked at it differently. I looked at it with such huge appreciation and gratitude, but also I wasn't connected to it in a way of like greed or like drive. It was just like, wow, this is phenomenal. Thank you, God. Thank you, universe. And thank myself. I plugged myself through it. And also thank you, Matthew, for guiding me, you know, and turning this around, taking what I thought or what once was the worst financial experience I'd ever had that brought me to a place of total peace and acceptance at no matter what happens in life, even from this moment moving forward, whatever happens, I can find peace in the chaos. And I took this moment, this event, and it was truly one of the biggest breakdowns that I had to one of my biggest breakthroughs. And that's what this is about. I hope that whatever you might be going through, that if it's a breakdown, that you know that a breakthrough is coming, and maybe take the advice of Matthew Ferry and what I'm sharing with you here and doing that exercise and being at peace with what is the worst that can happen. You will be able to make it through it. And what I would love to hear from you, the viewer, is share with me, share with us, share with this community, this 180 Life community. What have you gone through? What is your biggest breakdown? What are you either going through now that you hope to get inspiration from others to get you through it, to be that light at the end of the tunnel? Or share with us your success. Where did you have a major breakdown in your life that led to a major breakthrough? That would be exciting to read from others and to hear from others on this. And I surely hope that this video was informative and inspirational to you. Thanks for watching.